Justice Department alums. What are they saying about Bovie's confirmation?
Yeah, so Stacey Young said here that Emil Bovie will be the enforcer of many of the attacks on DOJ and its employees by confirming his nomination to the Senate, courted the devastation he unleashed on the department. Multiple whistleblowers stepped forward to bear witness to his destruction of constitutional principles and institutional guardrails. Some senators unfairly criticized and discounted their claims, but history will honor their courage. The thousands of DOJ alum we represent stand ready to support anyone who is brave enough to expose the lawlessness coming from this department's leadership, Chris. But I think, as Lisa highlighted there's really a lot of concern about just protecting whistleblowers and the risk that they take in coming forward with any information that they have, even getting vague, being very vague even about the specifics, because it doesn't seem as though, or at least those familiar with their thinking don't seem to think that their concerns are being taken very seriously through the Senate and by Senator Chuck Grassley's office.
And Lisa, in another example of norms that have many people concerned about how far off of what tradition and the Constitution say, right? The Trump administration is once looking to bypass Congress to keep interim prosecutors in place in California, in Nevada. They used a very similar process, right, to do it in New Jersey with Alina Habba. What more can you tell us about that?
Well, so Alina Habba, who has apparently been reinstated as the acting U.S. attorney for the District of New Jersey, is now facing a legal challenge from a defendant in her district who says he can't go to trial on August 4th because she is not properly overseeing that office, that she hasn't been validly appointed. And just yesterday, Alina Habba's prosecutors submitted a response to that motion in court where they say she is validly serving as the acting U.S. attorney because she was properly appointed as the first assistant. The first assistant can serve as an acting under the Federal Vacancies Reform Act. And this is key, the president properly removed as United States attorney the person that the district court purported to appoint. That's Desiree Grace, who was the first assistant. And these sort of shenanigans appear to be continuing in other areas of the country. But, Chris, there's one thing in this brief that I think is really dangerous and I want to highlight for you, which is that she says in this brief that it's okay for the attorney general to even circumvent U.S. attorneys, that the U.S. attorney statutorily can delegate the functions ordinarily served by a U.S. attorney. I'm sorry, that the attorney general can delegate the functions ordinarily served by the U.S. attorney to any other officer, employee, or agency of the Department of Justice. So I just want you to imagine this for a second. Pam Bondi can take a bunch of people, call them special U.S. attorneys, appoint them to the Department of Justice without going through the conventional career prosecutor hiring process, and then sort of take away responsibilities from Senate-confirmed U.S. attorneys or people who should be Senate-confirmed and essentially have them serve the same purposes. This, to me, seems like a guidebook to what might be to come, that what we've seen already so far in terms of circumventing the law and the Senate may be child's play compared to what could come next.
Well, that leads me to my question to you, Perry, which is, given the serious questions raised, right, about Bovie, frankly, Trump nominees in the judiciary and elsewhere, I mean, do Democrats see any recourse moving forward? Does anybody see any recourse moving forward?
Look, that's a great question. I mean, we have seen one nominee, Ed Martin, the D.C. U.S. attorney. His nomination did not go through. That's because Tom Tillis said he was not going to vote for people who condone the violence on January 6th. Democrats, when it came to Bovie, tried to connect him, saying he fired these prosecutors that prosecuted the J6 cases, but Tillis did not see that connection and voted for them. So it's going to be hard for Democrats. I mean, I think that this vote for Bovie, what it shows is that Trump has made, a big philosophical change, which is that the Justice Department and the White House are closer, the post-Watergate independence that they used to have, or distance. He is no more. And the Republicans, I think, with this recent vote and a bunch of other votes, have said that, they've, largely approve of that, at least in these nominations. So I think it'll be hard.
Lisa Rubin, Ryan Riley, and Perry, thank you all very much. Still ahead, the new move by the Trump administration that could have major implications for combating climate change, as tsunami warnings, extreme heat,